So today we're going to talk about how to build a campaign, and we're going to talk about how to build a campaign on specific locations that over-index on the consumption or sale of certain categories. So we're going to be looking at tobacco, we're going to be looking at Central, which is Ontario, and we're going to be looking at the top 10 stores. Essentially what the logic here is that we're looking for the top performing stores that over-index in the sale of tobacco-related products. And so the system looks for the last 6 months worth of transactions that have come through from the whole region, which is 542 stores, and then it creates sales indexes for those particular locations. Then it matches those sales indexes against each other, and it gives me a top 10 of the stores. So what you're looking at here is that store number 1247 indexes 30% higher than the average stores. Now, let's be mindful of a couple of criteria here. One, you're matching the store against the whole universe of stores in the Ontario province. However, we can go down to the market level. Once you go into the market level, then the sales indexes will fluctuate, and there will be a higher or perhaps lower, depending on the market, difference, because we're amalgamating the information and we're averaging over 540 something stores. Those indexes don't look so dramatic, but once you go into a more granular selection, they are. So right now the system is telling me that store 1247 over indexes by a factor of 30% higher than the rest of the stores in the province. That store is in Timmins, Ontario. So let's assume for a second that I'm building a campaign on these stores. Let's take a look at where 1005 is. 1005 is in Smiths Falls, Ontario. So I'm selecting these stores, and once I click save, the system looks for the top association. So for the sake of argument, let's say that we're building a campaign for a energy drink client, and we're triggering against tobacco related products. That means that every time there is a purchase of a tobacco related item, whatever engagement medium there may be, in this case we have digital signage, but it could be an application on the mobile phone, it could be an RTV, a real-time bidding deployment. Any device that is connected to the internet can accept a trigger from us. So as I said before, in this case we have digital signage at the point of sale, so whatever the loop is or whatever the ads are playing at the moment, it'll stop and it will display an energy drink ad. The creative, it's up to the operator's choice, but right now what we're building here is an event, a trigger event based on a preset number of conditions. So campaign name, this is test, start and end date, we select the date range, and that date range will determine when it runs and when it ends. The system also tells me that the highest, based on transactional history, the highest propensity for that combination, energy drinks and tobacco, to be purchased is between the hours of 2 and 6 p.m. in the afternoon. So we can leave that checked and create a campaign that goes from 2 to 6 only, or we can select different time frames. We can select 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., 10 a.m. to 2, and 2 to 6. What this will do is that it will tell our RTA box to only trigger a certain ad or to only create that event between the hours of 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. Once you create this, what you're doing is the system is creating a set of instructions that get passed down to the content management system that is managing that digital signage deployment. So in this case we use broadsign, so this creates a bundle of instructions that goes to brought sign specifying that in the stores that we selected on the media assets that we have there, between the hours of 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. from the 29th to the 31st, there will be an active trigger. So every time a tobacco related product gets scanned, there is an event to be triggered. So right now I'm not going to click save because we're live. Our system is live, is connected to the legal signage. So essentially I'll be creating a campaign. But once they click save, the operator of the CMS will receive all the parameters, and all they have to do is load the creative onto their system and deploy it. So essentially what the StoreIQ does is it brings relevancy to the footprint. It says these are the most likely stores for which this combination of products or this trigger will work and will have an impact on the basket size. Obviously we're trying to demonstrate return on investment by seeing or determining the amount of conversions that get derived from the amount of impressions. Once you run the campaign, we do have other menus which we'll walk through in different videos in which the client or the operator can actually measure the effectiveness of that campaign as it's happening, because they can run queries that will give lift by hour, lift by day, this week, last week, and so on and so forth. But so far, this is our campaign creation module. Off to the next video.